Yeah, it's nice to not have to travel. That's been a big part of why we created the late October meet or the mid October meet for us. It's there just really wasn't anything within the region, so the ability to just kind of take a long bus trip off of the schedule was huge for our student athletes, and it happens to line up with fall break for us as well, which is doubly nice to just be able to have a little extra time to relax and kind of catch your breath a little bit before we hit the stretch of travel into Big East and regionals and finals and everything coming up for our team academically. They're very academic, so which I applaud them for, and it's awesome to see their successes there. It's all about us trying to find that balance for them.
Uh, you haven't had to train in this weather yet. It's kind of come late a little bit, I guess.
Loving it.
How much is the team looking forward to just,
Yeah,
what it should feel like in October?
right. No, it's been awesome. Just knowing it's that crisp air, and it's cooled off, and to be able to get through a hard workout and the intensities and those things that we'll be able to push will be really, really nice. And not just this week, but into next week, and getting a few tune-up workouts before Big East, and then heading to Big East and then back to regionals. So we've been waiting for fall weather for quite some time, and it's nice that it's here. There's just been a lot of limitations. One of the athletes was actually up the other day and just he's like, training's looked a lot differently this year than it has in the last few years. I'm like, yeah, the biggest dictator of that's been 85 or 90 degrees in the first part of October still. We just have to approach things differently. So, but yeah, we're thrilled.
Is this one of those weeks where you guys run everybody to get their legs under them for the Big East?
Yeah, everybody's healthy will run. How we race everybody is going to be a little bit different. So some people will absolutely be out there, truly fighting for one of those Big East roster spots. Some of our top people are probably going to. We're taking a very strategic approach with them. Honestly, going to try to mimic how we think Big East might be a little bit, and where we're wanting to do to accomplish that. So it's going to look a little bit differently. But yeah, the goal is to go out and compete well, and shoot for some good performances across the board, both men's and women's side.
Is there a different level of intensity of the approach? Like, when you know your end goals are coming into view?
I think for our women's team right now, we're getting to the point where we were really, really young at the beginning of the year, and some of that, some of our freshmen are still running up, and they don't necessarily, they probably still a little bit like freshmen, but our juniors who now they're starting to act more like seniors, and some of those things have changed. That's probably the biggest thing changed on the women's side. The men's side, those big goals for the year are still a couple weeks away, and so I think that they know, especially that top group of guys, that top group of 5 or 6 guys, they're still grinding right now, and they still have their eyes on what those goals are for Big East and the regional meet. They're literally training through this week. We didn't back those guys off at all, and we're just continuing to prep them for what will be 10K in 4 weeks. So it's they know they're excited to be at home and race at home, but they also know that there's a bigger picture, a couple weeks down the road yet.
What does it look like tangibly when a junior class turns into a senior class before you're rising?
It's kind of a relief. It's been good. We have one actual female senior on the team. We have Molly is technically a senior, but she'll be back next year as a redshirt senior. And so that senior women's class was a small number, and to have that junior class of girls really step up and start to race well and run well, but also the stuff off the race course, the leadership and those characteristics and qualities, to see them grow in those areas and step up, and even some of the sophomores just kind of taking on some of those roles that we expect out of upperclassmen. It's been good to see that growth, and that's growth that's going to carry us over into a year from now. That's one thing we've talked about already, is that we don't graduate a lot. So next year is a year that we hope to really build upon.
What will the next 2 weeks for you guys look like? I don't know if we're up for that. What is the ramp up to Virginia look like?
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm really excited about it on lots of levels. This is the first time Georgetown's hosted, but my first coaching job out of undergrad was actually in Washington, D.C., so I'm getting to go back and see a bunch of people as well. I think for us, it's a big travel piece for us, and we'll have some good workouts on Monday and Thursday of next week. That's the plan right now. They'll get a good long run in this coming Saturday yet. And then, the week that it's heading out to DC. We travel on Wednesday, so we'll probably do some fine tuning on Monday. Get out there, shake out Wednesday, see the course on Thursday, race on Friday. So it should be a great experience for our athletes to compete in a new facility, new course that's never been part of the Big East rotation before.
How have your teams done this year? I mean, it's such a unique sport, individual, but yet it's a team sport. I mean, sometimes you can get some selfishness and what have you. I'm sure you've seen that in the past. Where are your teams at this year in terms of the team concept?
It's been really interesting to see. I think even within our men's team, there's been a lot of growth in that. Our men's team, on paper, best team in school history right now. And there's been a lot of personal accolades that have come with that, some fastest times in school history and things like that. But to see those guys, even since the beginning of the year, start to push those things aside and start to understand that I might not be the one this week, but if somebody else is, but I still did my part. And we saw that, at Gans Creek a couple of weeks ago, that we had a group of guys that worked together. And, as Coach Fair said, it was not we raised the floor that day, but we didn't raise the ceiling that day, and he put that very well. But for that to be the expectation, the standard there, that's huge. And then for the ladies' side, Catherine's been our one all fall so far, but that group of who's the 2, 3, 4, 5 has been very, very interchangeable. And to see that people understand that it doesn't matter who's having the on day, that the team is bigger than that, and that's what really matters in cross country. It's a beautiful sport, and it's hard to understand if you're not familiar with it. And it's something that we talk a lot about. But if everybody does their part, and if their part is being the 7 who pushes a score of another team, then that matters too. And it's beautiful. I love cross country in its own way. I love track too, but it's just it's a team sport that is very individualized. But when those team goals start to become or for our personal goals, then great things can happen.